Spiderhead, directed by Joseph Kosinski, is a self-contained story with a distinct tone to common sci-fi concepts. It's a story about experimental, emotion-inducing medications and the inmates who volunteer to be pharmaceutical guinea pigs, and it has a tactile aspect at least at first similar to Kosinski's excellent Top Gun sequel. While it eventually loses its way along a predictable road, it remains interesting for long enough to be worth seeing. Spiderhead opens in a futuristic white room where a man named Ray is delivered simple jokes and puns over a microphone from behind a two-way mirror, written by Deadpool creators Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick. Ray chuckles, probably a bit louder than you might anticipate, but when the disembodied voices exchange their joke book for facts about genocide, he bursts out laughing. The Spiderhead, a jail testing center on a lush, remote island, where charismatic tech leader Steve Abnesti executes unique drug trials with his dedicated assistant, Mark, is introduced in this strange introduction, which is revealed to be an experiment for a laughter medicine. It is based on a short story titled Escape from Spiderhead by Man Booker Prize-winning author George Saunders. In addition, the film has an intriguing ending that differs from the ending of the original short story. Spiderhead is set in an isolated state-of-the-art prison run by Steve Abnesti, Hemsworth, who subjects his captives to various mind-altering drug studies in exchange for less severe penalties. One of these pills induces feelings of love, another compels the patient to speak the truth, and the worst of them all is Darkenflix, which causes the user excruciating anguish. Jeff, a prisoner played by Teller, initially appears happy to participate in the experiments, which include forcing him to have sexual encounters with various other inmates thanks to the love drug, but his attitude shifts when he is asked to choose one of the other inmates to give a dose of Darkenflix to. The problem is further exacerbated by the fact that he has begun to form a bond with another convict, Lizzie, and when Abnesti demands that Jeff give her a dose of Darkenflix, he devises a scheme. He arranges for Abnesti to be given a dose instead, with the help of Abnesti's assistant Verlaine, and while he's being tortured, Jeff says that he's uncovered another of the medications they'd been given, B6, which makes the user obey anything they're told to do. This, Jeff claims, is why they were testing all the other treatments, and he pushes Abnesti to acknowledge that this drug was supposed to be called a BDX, but that it hasn't worked well enough to receive a gold star of approval. Abnesti goes on to say that for the drug to be regarded a success, it had to secure total obedience, which it didn't, because Jeff had refused to give the Darkenflix to someone he cared about despite being commanded to. Jeff eventually persuades Abnesti to unlock the facility's doors with the help of B6 and Darkenflix, but he is unable to persuade him to hand over his knife, and a struggle begins. Jeff manages to slip away long enough to save Lizzie, who was on the verge of killing herself due to the effects of Darkenflix, and the two of them fight off the other inmates and escape on a boat. Abnesti tries to pursue them down in his plane, but crashes and dies, allowing Jeff and Lizzie free to flee. The finale of Saunders' short story differs significantly from the film's. It is also far darker. Jeff is likewise dissatisfied in the narrative, which was first published in The New Yorker in 2010, over his decision to provide Darkenflix to one of the other inmates, but his reaction is different. Realizing he has little chance of escaping and refusing to participate in the Darkenflix trials any longer, he delivers a lethal dose of Darkenflix to himself, effectively killing himself. There are a few minor variations between the film and the source material, such as Lizzie's absence from the short story and the absence of any reference of B6. Meanwhile, the reason for Jeff's detention is different as well. In the Saunders novel, he killed his closest friend with a brick, whereas in the film, he causes a drunk driving accident that kills his love interest.